off in my house. You know what I mean? Like, what the freak, bro? You know what I mean? But nah, man, what's good, YouTube, man?
January 7th.
It's your boy, Jay Willie Silly, man, a.k.a. Mr. Take It Easy. Play you end up like easy. But make sure y'all follow my Instagram and Twitch, man, in the description down below. The heck with the bot score, Devontae. The heck with the bot score. But now, hold on. Before I get into this video, let me go and slide this down a little bit more right here. Let me go and see something right quick, y'all. Let me go and slide this down right quick. You know what I'm saying? Okay, is that good? Is that good? Is that good? It's good, you know what I mean? But yeah, like I was saying though, you know what I mean? What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Jay Willie Silly, man, a.k.a. Mr. Take It Easy. Before you end up like easy, make sure y'all follow my Instagram and Twitch, man, in the description down below. Everything you know about your boy Jay is in the description down below. And like I said, y'all, bro, I cannot wait until mid-July, man. You know what I mean? Gaming channel shall go up. I'm trying to hit 500 subscribers, bro, before mid-July. So let's make that happen. We got the mystery of the greatest heist in American history. You know what I'm saying? If y'all do want to go look at videos like these right here, you know what I mean? It is in the true crime playlist section. You know what I'm saying? Just keeping it real with you. But hey, man, like I said, man, I'm not desperate for money. You know what I mean? Honestly, so I'm not the type of person to do anything for money, bro. You know what I mean? Like, even if I get down bad, I'll go work at McDonald's or something. I ain't gonna lie, McDonald's, Burger King. But, you know, like I said, my freedom is something that can't be bought, bro. No cap, you know?
January 17th, 1950. A seemingly ordinary night in Boston. Beneath the surface, 11 men, driven by greed and ambition, pulled off the crime of the century.
They got away?
One of the most meticulously planned robberies in U.S. history. In less than 35 minutes, they would vanish with over $30 million in today's money. This is the story of a heist that shook the nation, a story that inspired one of the most successful movies in Hollywood, an operation that would later crash down, all because of a single man with a grudge. This is the story of the Great Brinks robbery, the real Ocean's 11.
I know you ain't getting away with that today. You ain't try to do a heist today. Real talk. Don't even try to do a heist today. You know, don't think you money heist for any of my wanted criminals or any of my criminals that's watching me. You know what I mean? You know, you're thinking about doing a heist, a bank robbery. Sit your freaking tail down somewhere. You know what I mean? Don't try to do no bank heist. Don't try to do no bank robbery. Sit your stupid self down somewhere and go work at McDonald's. Go work at Burger King. Get the money the slow way. Slow way is better than no way. Remember that. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? Only take you getting caught one time, man. With all the technology that they got going on today, you think you finna get away, nigga? You know what I'm saying? That heist that you gotta do, that heist you try to do, it gotta be picture perfect, man. Ain't no heist going on today, man. You better sit your butt down somewhat, boy.
There was a well-known building in Boston, a building famous not for historical importance, but because this particular building was playing the role of a huge safe, holding millions of dollars in cash, checks, and other valuable items. A building that belonged to Brinks, a financial security company based in Boston, Massachusetts. At the time, the Brinks building was considered to be one of the most secure buildings in the whole country, an unbreakable safe
Brinks?
No one dared to challenge. However, someone wasn't quite convinced. Anthony Pino, a career criminal known for his petty thefts in the north end of Boston, started to flirt with the idea of breaking into Brinks. In 1947, after months of gathering intel about the building, he realized he wouldn't be able to get the job done on his own. He needed a team, but not any team. He turned to Joseph McGinnis, a legend in Boston's underworld, a man who commanded respect and knew the city's dark corners like the back of his hand. They needed muscle, so they brought in Joseph Specs O'Keefe and Stanley Gasciora, tough guys who could intimidate anyone. Vincent Costa, Pino's brother-in-law, serving as the lookout. John Banfield, a trusted man of McGinnis, would be the getaway driver. To round out their team, they recruited James...
See these cats? Look at these cats, bro. You know what I'm saying? You ain't think like they were criminals. You know what I mean? That's why I try to tell y'all, bro. You know what I mean? When it comes to white people, you know what I mean? Like when it comes to them committing crime, bro, they smart as heck, bro. I ain't gonna lie. You know what I mean? You come across a nigga, you come across a white criminal, bro. You ain't even know he a criminal, bro. Look how they dress, y'all. What's one thing that they all have in common? They wearing suits. You walk past these niggas in the street, you're not thinking this nigga a criminal. That's one thing about these niggas, they low key, bro. You feel me? They freaking low key. You won't even know that this nigga a criminal. You don't know this man a bank robber. You don't know this man a killer. I'm telling you, bro.
And of McGinnis would be the getaway driver. To round out their team, they recruited
Low-key,
James Ignatius Fearty, a master of armed robbery, with the addition of Adolph Maffei, Michael Vincent Keegan, Thomas Francis Richardson, and Henry Baker.
You know, back then, criminals didn't care about, you know what I mean? Criminals used to not want to be seen, but I don't know. It's just today, everybody just want the clout. So it's like everybody want people to know that they're killing. Everybody want people to know that they're robbing. You know, it was once upon a time, you know what I mean, where people, it's still people like that though, for sure. But it's a whole lot of goofies out here, bro, that literally just, you know, killing for a name, bro. You know what I mean? Robbing for a name. You know what I mean? It's like, back then, you know, criminals didn't want to be seen. Now it's like criminals want to be seen. It's weird. It's backwards nowadays.
11 men, each with their own skills and motivations, united by a shared hunger.
Thought the goal was to stay out of jail. It's like these niggas trying to go to jail.
Once the task of assembling the crew was complete, Pino needed a plan. He knew that this could take months to figure out, but he and the team had all the time in the world. The crew's plan needed to be perfect, a quick in and out with no evidence behind. But a perfect plan must involve carefully executed steps, from observation all the way to reliable alibis. The months leading up to the robbery were a blur of careful planning. Pino studied the schedules, the shipments, the daily routine, even the way the lights flickered on and off. His biggest challenge? The money was on the second floor, guarded by 5 locked doors. But Pino had a plan. He and his crew broke into the building after hours, stealing 1 locked cylinder at a time. They used these stolen cylinders to make keys, then carefully replaced the originals, leaving no trace of their intrusion. They even stole a green 1949 Ford Stake body truck, serving as their escape vehicle. They spent November and December perfecting their getaway route, practicing until every turn and stop was ingrained in their minds. They even designed their disguises: navy pea coats, gloves, chauffeur's caps, and rubber Halloween masks that completely hid their faces. They made several attempts, getting close, but always pulling back, waiting for the perfect moment. Finally, on January 17th, 1950, they were ready.
Yeah, I ain't built for it. I ain't gonna lie, I ain't built for it. You know what I'm saying?
The crew met in Roxbury, loaded into the truck, and drove towards their target.
I ain't built for it.
Inside the Brinks depot, the crew moved with precision. They forced the employees to the ground, tied their hands, and taped their mouths shut. In just 35 minutes, they had emptied the vault, filling bags with $1.5 million in cash.
Y'all know how much 1.5 million was back in the day? Y'all probably like, that's it? Bro, do y'all know how much that was? That's when prices was down, like nothing. The things that's expensive nowadays, it wasn't nearly as expensive today, bro. 1.5 million back in the day, man, that's like, man, back in these niggas' time, it was like on some 1950s. You know what I'm saying? 1.5 million, bro. That's like, bro, you dang near, bro. Bro, that's like 100 million today, like 200 million back in the day. You feel me? Niggas won't come across 1.5 million back in the day, bro. You know what I'm saying? Low wages, all type of stuff, boy.
Into the night, following
at least 5 to 10 million.
Escape route.
Heck no. Know what I'm saying? Heck no. 1.5 million, bro. That's a lot for back in the day, bro. This is like 1950s we talking about, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's like 1940s, bro. You know how cheap stuff was back then in the day, bro? Do you know how cheap stuff was back in the day? You feel me? Stuff was cheap back in the day, bro. Houses that going for such and such amount of price back in the day probably going for like, what, 30 million now, bro?
Costa fled in a stolen sedan. Gigan established his alibi. Pino and Fearty quickly disappeared
that were going for like
their own, and Banfield disposed of the truck.
300K back then, man. Probably going for like 30 million now, bro.
No trace of their crime. They had pulled off the perfect heist, or so they thought. The federal statute of limitations was just 3 years, but the state statute was 6. If they could just outlast that 6-year window, the money would be theirs, and they could never be brought to justice. The clock was ticking. The sirens went off, and within minutes of the robbery, police officers and FBI special agents descended upon the Brinks building. But they were met with a chilling silence. The terrified employees couldn't offer any useful information. They said the robbers were professionals. Their movements were studied and almost robotic. They spoke very little, only leaving behind a mask, tape, and one discarded hat. However, one employee did mention 4 guns, providing a serial number for one. The authorities had a starting point. 2 weeks later, a group of boys playing near the Mystic River found one of the stolen guns, rusted and useless. The next day, another gun was found by a police officer, which also turned out useless due to its terrible condition. They began interviewing potential leads, along with past and present Brinks employees. Brinks even offered a $100,000 reward for information. Finally, people started talking. One witness described a green Ford truck with a canvas top parked near the Brinks.
There's always somebody watching, bro. That's one thing I realized, because even when I be like, every time I'm done live streaming, bro, while everybody sleep, I'm just be looking out my window, just watching the neighborhood, bro. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, you coming through the roundabout, you thinking everybody sleep, but the whole time I'm watching you throughout the window, bro. Somebody always watching, bro. That's very true. Somebody always watching, bro. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. It's real. You feel me? I be, bro. For me, I ain't gonna lie. One thing I like doing, I like people watching. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. I like people watching, bro. You know what I'm saying? I just be watching people. I ain't gonna cap. Not on no weird junk. Just, you know, just be watching, bro. Seeing what people up to. You know what I mean? Seeing how he moving. Seeing how she moving. You know what I mean? If you sit back and watch people, bro, you can look at a lot of stuff, bro. I ain't gonna lie. You can peep a lot of stuff, bro. You just sit back and watch. Whole time I be right here, man. I be like freaking this amount of feet away, man. I'm looking at somebody all the way down there. He don't even know I'm looking at him. You know what I'm saying? Whole time he just minding his business. Whole time all the way over here just staring at him. You don't even know it. You feel me? That's why every time I get out of that car, I just be looking in cars and everything. It probably be a nigga all the way down the street, nigga, looking at me, nigga, and I'm all the way down here. You feel me? Straight up, dog.
Building the day of the heist. After a month of research, truck
you don't know who the freak be looking at you, bro.
In Staunton, Massachusetts, confirming the truck's identity. But the location
eyes everywhere, eyes everywhere
on the authorities' radar. O'Keefe and Gusciora. When questioned, they claimed
that nigga look like Johnny Manziel, man.
The authorities' radar. O'Keefe.
I was like, Johnny?
Gusciora. When questioned, they claimed they had gone out drinking in Boston around 7 p.m.
I'm a nigga Johnny Manziel.
With no concrete evidence, the authorities had to let them go. But starting June the same year, things started to go south for Pino and his crew.
Probably Johnny Manziel's great-great-great-grandfather. Ain't boy, you look like Johnny.
Crew, robbing the Brinks building was extremely hard to pull off. But what was even harder was staying off the radar for the entire 6 years. There were 2 crew members who simply couldn't resist their criminal urges. O'Keefe and Gusciora kept going on what they'd call road trips, which was code for burglaries. On one of their road trips in Pennsylvania, the 2 ended up getting caught and arrested. O'Keefe was sentenced to 3 years, and Gusciora was facing 5 to 20 years in prison.
Dang.
While they served their time,
just got 1.5 mil. The freak you still robbing for, G?
The FBI started noticing a bizarre pattern. The 2 weren't writing back to their families. However, they were writing to a group of men back in Boston, asking them to support their legal defense fund. This group included Pino, McGinnis, Mappy, and Baker. The same group, questioned the following weeks of the robbery, are now writing to each other several months later. Authorities knew something was off. They immediately brought back the group for further questioning. Pino claimed he had been at home until about 7 p.m. before heading to a nearby liquor store owned by none other than Joseph McGinnis, a story confirmed by a Boston police officer who was present at the store. Maffei could not provide an alibi, but Baker insisted he was at home having dinner with his family before leaving at 7 p.m. for a 2-hour walk, during which he claimed he encountered no one. Armed robbery specialist James Fairdy claimed to have been out drinking between 5 7:10 p.m. and 7:45 p.m. John Banfield said he had been drunk since New Year's Eve, yet an ex-girlfriend reported seeing him stone cold sober on the night of the heist. If you haven't noticed, there's a clear pattern. Around 7 p.m., each suspect had independently decided to change locations, making their whereabouts murky during the critical window of 7:10 p.m. to 7:27 p.m., the exact time of the heist. In prison, O'Keefe and Gushira remained calm, revealing nothing to anyone. On November 25th, 1952, a federal grand jury convened to examine the case, as the federal statute of limitations was rapidly approaching its end. Authorities hoped this grand jury would elicit information from witnesses or the suspects themselves, but the jury had nothing of concrete to work with. By January 1953,
all because some jackasses, bro, want to continue burgling, bro. You know what I'm saying, nigga? We just got 1.5 million, and nigga, y'all two out here freaking burgling, but like, bro, what's going on, bro? I ain't gonna lie, bro. See, that right there would have pissed me off. You know what I'm saying? 1.5 million, bro. I mean, bro, I ain't gonna lie, that really ain't a lot of money, man. How many it was, bro? What, 10 people? They probably ran dry on that money. I ain't gonna cut. You know what I'm saying? You got to split that way. So you got to split what? No telling. Probably 200K each, 300K each. No telling. That's a lot for one person, but for 10 people, I ain't gonna lie, that really ain't a lot. You know what I'm saying? That really ain't a lot, bro. Even if that's back in the day. You know what I'm saying?
To the heist, the jury concluded.
I forgot they got to split the money, so yeah, really, it really probably wasn't a lot.
There wasn't enough evidence to arrest anyone. Pino's crew were safe, but they still had 3 more years to go. 3 years felt like 3 decades for the crew. Over the next year, O'Keefe would go in and out of jail. Each time he contacted the same group of men, pressuring them for financial help. Each time the men grew more and more sour. The air in Boston was thick with tension. March 1954 marked O'Keefe's return, and he wasted no time reuniting with the other suspects. 2 months later, O'Keefe, with a partner in tow, pulled an inexplicable move. They kidnapped Pino's brother-in-law, Costa, holding him captive in a hotel room. 2 days later, following the payment of the ransom, they let Costa go. During police interviews, everyone claimed ignorance, but one thing was crystal clear. O'Keefe had become a liability, and he
keep getting in trouble, bro. They killed that nigga.
On June 5th, 1954.
Yeah, bro, I ain't gonna lie, bro. Keep it real with you, bro. You keep getting in trouble, gang. You know what I'm saying? You keep putting us on the radar, bro. Keep going to jail, and every time you go to jail, bro, you writing us, bro, talking about you need financial support, bro. And nigga ain't trying to keep doing that, bro. You know what I mean? So, I ain't gonna lie, we should have seen this coming right here off the gate. You know what I mean?
Needed to be dealt with. On June 5th, 1954, O'Keefe found himself at the center of his first assassination attempt.
Get that nigga.
A suspicious car approached. Sensing danger, he instinctively slouched in a seat, narrowly dodging bullets that shattered the windshield. This was just the beginning. Just 2 days later, the second assassination attempt unfolded. This time, O'Keefe was shot in the chest, but somehow managed to survive. Realizing the mess he was in, he made the decision to flee Boston. However, his escape was short-lived, as he was arrested for possessing a firearm. Violating his parole, he was sentenced to 2 years in prison. Pino knew that having 10 associates would eventually hunt him down. In January 1955, getaway driver Banfield died of natural causes. 1 down, 10 to go.
Dang.
While authorities felt they were rounding up the suspects, they still had not located any of the money. But they saw the tension within the group as an opportunity to get someone to talk. In prison, O'Keefe was still writing letters to other suspects demanding financial support. With each letter getting ignored, his frustration grew. The clock was ticking. FBI agents, relentless in their pursuit, repeatedly visited O'Keefe, hoping to crack his silence. By December 1955, a shift occurred. O'Keefe's disdain for his former accomplices grew. On January 6, 1956, O'Keefe sat down with the agents and uttered the fateful...
So what, you gonna snitch, bro? You gonna snitch? You only got 2 years. That's the crazy thing about it. Nigga, you only got 2 years, nigga. You acting like you got life without parole. Bro, you got 2 years, boy. You know what I'm saying? But just because you keep going to jail, see, niggas like Heath, you gotta stay away from niggas like Heath. You know what I mean? That's why I be trying to tell you, bro. You gonna do dirt by yourself, bro. Do dirt by yourself, bro. That's what I be saying, bro. You gonna do dirt by yourself, bro? Do dirt by yourself. You can't trust nobody, bro. Bro, I don't care if that's your best friend. You know what I mean? You can't trust a single soul if you out here trying to do some dirt. I ain't gonna cap. You know what I mean? Because half of these dudes, man, I'm telling y'all, bro, who be making fun of people being rats or rat they dang self. They just never been in that position. You know what I mean? That detective saying you facing 100 years to life, nigga, I bet 95% of y'all gon' fold. You making fun of somebody else ratting, but the whole time you a rat. Look, you got a whole lot of people, bro, that say they're a real nigga, bro, but never been in real situations. You know what I'm saying? How you say you a real nigga when you never been in no real-ish? You know what I'm saying? Nothing real ever happened. Like nothing, your life never got real. Nothing ever got serious in your life. You know what I mean? You never was in no situation where you had to show was you real. Talk about what you gonna do and talk about what you ain't gonna do. Alright. Nigga, if you don't give up this nigga, we finna get, look, if you don't give up this nigga, we finna give you 100 years of life. I bet you half of you niggas gonna fold. I bet you that. But you finna be like, oh, no, I ain't do it. All right. I ain't snitching on my homie. All right. We'll see.
Words.
All right. What do you want to know?
Pino and his crew had waited 5 years.
To me, I'll never get in that situation. No, I ain't gonna lie. I'll never get in that situation. Cause I don't hang around dumb niggas. I know I'll never get in that situation. For real. Even though I know I'll never do this dumb ish. It's not about you not doing the dumb ish. It's about you not hanging around niggas that doing dumb ish too. You know what I'm saying? Because the whole time, bro, you could be a good little kid. You could be a good kid, bro. Never done nothing. Your life squeaky clean. You just hanging around some goofy niggas. That goofy nigga get you 100 years. That's why I say, bro, you better watch out who the freak you hang around with, boy. For real. That's very important, bro. Your circle, bro, very important. I don't care if you knew that nigga ever since he was little. If that nigga's a bad influence, you better get that nigga away from you. You feel me? Straight up. I'm telling you, bro, because your friends can get you killed and your friends can get you locked up. You ain't do a dang thing just because you hang around with a nigga. Now you caught up in some ish. I'm telling you, bro, for real.
11 months and
gotta keep good influences around you. Walk alone. That's what I do. I keep niggas who chill around me, bro. I don't be hanging around hot boys. I don't hang around no niggas hot boys, niggas that's robbing and shooting. I don't hang around them niggas. You doing that, bro? Get the freak away from me, bro. You know what I'm saying? I wish one of my homies would come to me and talk about a robbery, bro. You ain't my homie no more. You cut off. Don't even come to me talk about no robbery, bro. You know what I mean? Don't even bring that up in my vicinity. You know what I'm saying? All my niggas be chilling, bro. Niggas be on the gang. Niggas be chilling. You know what I'm saying? You know, and all that hot boyish, bro. Don't come to me talking about robbing. Don't come to me talking about killing. You know what I'm saying? Cause I promise you, I'm gonna cut you off day one.
As theirs, 11 days. On January 12th, the net closed in. Baker, Keegan, Maffei,
I don't hang around stupid niggas, boy.
McGinnis, and Pino were all apprehended. The following day, a Suffolk County grand jury
all these niggas got caught
for the entire crew, using O'Keefe as their star witness.
Just because the niggas
Faherty and Richardson fled, becoming fugitives on the FBI's most wanted.
Oh, them niggas fled?
Yes. Faherty and Richardson fled, becoming fugitives on the FBI's most wanted list. But their escape was short-lived. They were caught hiding in a Dorchester apartment. Gushira was transferred to a Massachusetts prison. On July 9th, he slipped and hit his head in a cell, dying a few hours later. 2 down, 9 to go. The trial of the remaining men started in Boston on August 6th. Each was sentenced to life imprisonment for armed robbery, with additional sentences ranging from 2 to 10 years for conspiracy, theft, and breaking and entering. O'Keefe was the only one to plead guilty. He received a more lenient sentence of just 4 years. 11 down. But there's one question we haven't answered yet. Where is the money? On June 3rd, 1956, a man suspected of circulating counterfeit bills.
How you gonna snitch, bro, when you doing the same thing they doing? I don't understand that, though. That's one thing I don't get. You know what I mean? That's when I'll be on some, like, if you a civilian, bro, yeah, tell. Like, it's not even snitching when it comes to civilian. I ain't gonna lie, bro. If you gotta tell the police, bro, what happened, tell the police what happened, bro. You're not no street dude. You don't commit crimes. You're not in that life. So them rules don't apply to you. You know, they be trying to make the rules apply to civilians. Snitching, man. That right there that right there when it comes to y'all. You can't say no snitching when it comes to civilians, bro. You feel me? That doesn't apply to you. If you're not in the game, bro, you better tell the police what the freak happened, bro. That's what, when it come to me, I don't live by that. I wish my homie would try to make me go down for something I ain't do. Bro, this nigga did it. This nigga did it at this time. He did it at this time, bro. I didn't know what bro was finna do. But, bro, do you think I'm finna get life over something I ain't do for you, nigga? If you a real friend, bro, you won't even let your friend go down right there. So that right there tells me, nigga, you ain't really my friend for real. So guess what? You ain't loyal to me, nigga. I ain't finna be loyal to you. Loyalty works both ways. Why the freak you finna let me go down for something that you know I didn't do? And you just finna be quiet and let me take the hit? Negro, please. Hey, man, that nigga did it right here, man. This nigga did it. He was here at this time. That nigga did it. And matter of fact, my other friends can quiet. This nigga did it. I don't give a damn what you saying. This nigga did it. Because you know what? I don't live by that street code. I don't live by none of that. You know what I'm saying? I ain't out here committing no crimes. I am a civilian. This nigga did it. I ain't finna get no 100 years for this jackass nigga. This nigga did it. You feel me? Straight up. I ain't do nothing. Bro did this at this time. Bro told me he was finna do it. I didn't know what the freak bro was finna do, but this nigga did it. Get a nigga 100 years with the freak, nigga. You think I'm finna get 100 years for you, nigga? You? Who the freak is you? Get the freak out my face, nigga. Freak, think I'm finna get my one life for you, nigga? Cause you wanna do some dumb shit? You think I'm finna get caught up with your bullish, nigga? Please. Nigga, I'll tell the police everything, nigga. This nigga did. Straight up. You feel me? But nah, though, man. Like, bro, you ain't out here committing no crime. That right there applies to niggas like this. You out here committing crimes. You out here killing. You out here doing all that. And you snitch on the niggas when you out here doing the same thing. That's being a snitch. You know what I'm saying? How you snitching on a nigga when you out here doing the same dang thing? That's a snitch right there. That's a rat. You know what I'm saying? But for a nigga ain't doing none of that, bro, that junk do not apply to him, gang. Leave that to y'all niggas in the streets. Leave that to y'all niggas in that dope game, in the game. Ain't got nothing to do with civilians, bro. You know what I'm saying? They try to make civilians take on they role. You feel me? That only applies to y'all. That's it and that's all. Just had to address that. Like this nigga's a rat. He's a snitch. You know what I'm saying? Threw everybody on the bus just to get lesser time. And the thing is, bro only had 2 years. Bro didn't have no amount, no crazy sentence. He didn't have to tell them what the freak happened. Bro just chose to snitch because they would not support him when it came to financial support, when it came to his legal support. Bro is the reason he's in jail. But look for somebody else to help him with legal support. That's the only reason this nigga snitched, because they ain't give him legal support.
Was apprehended.
This nigga had 2 years.
During the search, officers discovered over $1,000 in his possession. However, the investigation deepened when they found nearly $4,000 hidden in his hotel room. Among the cash recovered, police matched the serial numbers of
this nigga had 2 years.
$35.
And the only reason this nigga in jail because of him.
Those of the bills stolen in the infamous Great Brinks robbery.
And bro just
pressure,
disloyal.
Revealed the name of his associate, known as Fat Joe. Authorities swiftly tracked down Fat Joe, leading them to a concealed metal container hidden behind a wall panel. Inside this container lay piles of cash totaling nearly $60,000, identified from the Brinks heist. Much of the money was found in a state of decomposition. Despite these discoveries, over 1.1 million of the money stolen has remained missing to this day. Subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.
I'll be trying to tell y'all, man, ain't nobody doing hey, man, ain't nobody doing content like Jay. I'm telling you, man, I'm gonna shoot out some videos you ain't gonna never see before. I'm telling you, you don't know what the freak I'm gonna do. Just like you don't know what next video I'm gonna do, man. But like I said, bro,